Hello. It's for January. Well, actually, just 2022. This is for Leo children or anybody who has significant Leo placements in their chart. Let's see if you can see if I turn this on, if it will help. Not really. Okay, it's kind of dim. There's a significant theme of a relationship or something returning for reconciliation. Could be a parent, could be a grandparent, somebody where there was wounds, probably like 2020, maybe even as early as last year, but it's very painful, and it seems to be making a return. So, in the month of January for Leos, there's some kind of mastery. You're dealing with demons per se, areas of temptation or struggles. This represents the like the devil energy. So there's mastery of emotions, masteries of the heart. In the month of February, there is no rest. There is no more so reconciliation or reconsidering. It's activity. So in the month of January, your Leo child, or if this is a Leo adult, they've done that in January. And so you will see in the month of February where there's some sense of activity with this what would I say? Nine of Swords. Is this Nine of Swords? Yeah. So with Nine of Swords in reverse, whatever needed to be mulled over, or that dark night of the soul, that work has been done. So there's closure, there's the ability to move forward. In March, you have the Hanged Man in reverse. This is again a month of activity, processing, moving forward, using what was mastered or learned in that downtime and putting it into action. So especially during the Mercury retrograde, I feel that for whoever this resonates or is for, January was the shutdown season. It was a time of reconsideration, thinking, and now they will find, especially with the energy of Mars in Capricorn, a lot of activity, a lot of putting those thoughts into action and moving things forward. So no more sitting around. They've taken the time to think about stuff and they're moving forward. For whatever reason, in the month of April, there is a rejoining. There is a going backwards. I wouldn't so much call it a retrograde, as instead of this showing as the Eight of Cups and moving away from something, or leaving something behind, it's in reverse. So something is returning, whether it's the Leo child returning to an individual or somebody from the past is coming back. But there is some heartfelt reconciliation that's on the horizon in the month of April. You may want to check where Jupiter is in your chart, to whatever degree, because for whatever reason, I just feel like that Jupiter and Piscean energy is going to be significant for the Leo child who this affects. That theme carries on in May, as there is some sort of coming together. You may want to be mindful of any retrograde periods that could be in the month of May, possible, a retrograde energy, but there is a genuine meeting of the minds, conversations happening, understanding, growth, growing closer, things like that. This is the month of June, which represents Cancerian energy. To me, this also is Chariot energy, which is representative of Cancer. Something is moving, something of the heart is progressing and moving forward in a positive and, the right direction. So expect some confessions, some news, some reconciliations, something moving forward in a beneficial direction in the month of June, especially with it going into Cancer. There's no more battles in the month of July. You may find, it's interesting because this is like 7 also, and there's at least 2 sevens. So you have the Chariot, and you also have the 7 of swords. Is that accurate? I think so. I'm trying to. I mean, like this feels like 7. Like my brain is not processing, but yes, this has to be the 7 of swords. But my brain is not processing what that card looks like. Um, Nevertheless, there's a lack of choosing the battles. There's no need to fight. As we move into August, introspection, intuition, trusting that third eye energy is going to be important during August. That will be heightened. The need to trust that mental energy, which also reminds me of swords. So over the summer, July and August, they will be in their minds. And there's this continual energy of closure and just conversations surrounding a relationship in the month of September. So this is the 5 of Pentacles, which is representative of like somebody being left out in the cold. But because it's in the reverse, there is a joining together. There is the feeling of not being alone, the feeling of being joined with other people, community, connection, growth, sustainability, moving things forward. It's beautiful because as we move into October, we have the 2, maybe is this wands? Yes. I'm confused. Okay, so here we go. Wands is purple, swords is in a blue. Because that makes more sense. Because I'm like, that looks like 7, that looks like wands. So I'm like, 7 of swords, that's something, that's the sneaky person. So yeah. And then going back to February, it is not the 9 of Swords, it's the 9 of Wands, which is still like kind of that protective energy. So yeah, spreading your wings. What are your options? What are the possibilities? Thinking outside of the box, all of that good stuff. As we move into November, if you are a Leo adult, there could be some kind of declaration or redeclaration of love, some kind of announcement of a commitment, whether it's an engagement, marriage, or some instance of, I hear put a ring on it, but even beyond that, there's some formalized commitment and dedication to someone or something and saying, okay, I'm all in now. This feels very adult-esque, like somebody in their 20s or later. And then we have the throat chakra. So there's some things that need to be said, confessed. There is conversation, a focal point of conversation, hashing things out in the month of December. So overall, for the Leo child, this feels like an adult. Could be a man in certain instances where they've done some work on themselves and they're ready to move something forward, to confess something, to come before somebody and to prove that they are really, they may even use the words, I've had some time to think about something last year or the year before, and I've realized. So that's something that you could be hearing if it is a Leo that you know. If this is a child with maybe some behavioral issues or disconnect from a parent, there is some reconciliation between an adult and a child, some kind of communication, a strained relationship, which is finally coming together, and there's growth, there's commitment, there's dedication to healing that broken relationship. There's, they're setting their sights on, wow, I can finally, and I hope that this is very lasting for more than a year, but it just feels like a repatching of a relationship or a connection that you can now explore the possibilities of reconciliation with this person because they've healed themselves. Somebody's parent could have been an alcoholic and they've gone through rehab and they've made that lasting change where they're like, you know what? No, no more. I've harmed and I've hurt my family too much. I've brought too much damage. No more. I'm done with that. That's no longer a vice for me. Whatever the case may be. But I really feel that whatever Leo child this is for, um, there's been some changes in the other person, and that person is moving to them. This could be a Leo child that needed to work on themselves so that they could grow with someone. But this really feels more so like somebody who was away that has done the work and they're coming back to make amends and to heal something. Um, but it also takes a willingness on part of the Leo child to be able to allow for this connection to happen. There's going to be conversations, hard conversations, hurtful things that were said that need to be accounted for, but this feels very emotional. This feels very close. So it could be a mother and a daughter, it could be between a significant other, it could be a grandchild and a grandparent, an aunt, and like an aunt, uncle, and a child, or it could really even just be a close relationship with a coworker, a boss, somebody that you are in close partnership with. But it feels like it's a diagonal. So it's not so much a peer. It is someone who was at the receiving end of somebody who did not make a wise choice. And that unwise choice impacted someone that did not have a whole lot of say so in the decision. So whether it's like someone who had more money, someone who had more ability to make decisions, and it impacted the other because there was nothing the other person could do. So that's what it feels like. It's very emotional. It's very relational, but there's some healing. So I hope that helps. And I look forward to just hearing how this plays out in your life. So thanks for watching and blessings to you and have a good day.